And so this next film, Hannah Grace, I'm going to get into the synopsis. I didn't get into it with the other film because it's not worth it. Hannah Grace was at least had some enjoyment out of it. It's about a recovering drug addict female who takes a job at this morgue, an overnight, the grave shift. And so she ends up getting the body of Hannah Grace, who died during the exorcism. And during the body's stay in the morgue, while she's working there, she ends up starting to see that there is certain things wrong with the corpse, and certain weird things are starting to happen during her shift at the morgue. I said things twice, but you get the overall gist of it. And that, one of the things, is the plus. This has a setup for a great horror film. This was a movie that I didn't have too much expectations for, but just the setup about it intrigued me. Just to set up a girl who works at a morgue, who gets a body that is a victim of a failed exorcism, and things start happening. Like, that is right there. Like, literally, you could probably give that to any film exec, and they'd probably like, okay, you got me. Tell me more. Or, they're probably like, oh my gosh, make that. Because that is an awesome idea. And I really did get a lot of enjoyment out of this film. I enjoyed Shay Michelle, who as the lead, who had the best, as being the lead, she had the most character or whatever. I ain't gonna say character as far as like personality, charisma, but as far as development and everything else. And I really did like her as the lead. She did a good job, and I really did enjoy her. This movie, besides, The Final Wish, had a scary environment. This really did play off of the environment. It did have some jump scares, but it wasn't like literally in bed with the jump scares. It didn't depend on the jump scares. It depend a lot of it on the environment. And it was creepy. And it was like one of them environments where it's like, I don't want to be up in there. I would not take that job in the first place, but I don't want to be there. It was kind of like one of those scenarios. And it did have a lot of subtleness that it was like little small things that if you weren't paying attention to the scene, then you would miss it. And I did really appreciate that. So it had you to basically pay attention to what was going on in the scene. But it did have a lot working against it. It had bad decision making, which I hate in horror films. I feel like somebody could do something smart and get that short end of the stick, and that could keep the plot going. They don't always have to do something stupid or say something stupid just to get the plot going. It wasn't really scary after a certain point. It did have its creepiness to it, but it wasn't truly scary. Really no likable characters at all, besides the main character. And this film was filled with just a lot of throwaway characters who weren't going to survive at the end. The dramatic parts really did fall flat. There was not enough time given to develop a lot of just the parts, even just having to deal with the main character, even though I did enjoy it. Hannah Grace, oh my God, how she looked when the body was possessed wasn't scary, and just it reminds me of another movie. I can't really say because it would be giving away too much, but it was kind of, oh my gosh, it went from being like a regular type of horror film to being something totally different. That's all I'm gonna say. And once I saw what was happening, it was like, okay. And like I said, with The Final Wish, this is one of those movies where the first scene sets the tone for what to expect for the rest of the film. And that's what I got with this film. As soon as the first scene ends, I'm like, okay, now I know what to expect with the rest of this movie. And I wasn't let down from my assumption. But this movie, this is a film that is completely worth skipping. If you can find it in theaters, it's worth skipping. If you can find it streaming, check it out. Whatever. It really doesn't have anything to offer but being potentially a good horror film, but decides to go the other route. It becomes an unenjoyable. It becomes unenjoyable at a point with a cliche horror tropes and to add to just the mess that it is. Wasn't truly as big of a mess as The Final Wish was, but this is a movie that could have been something great, but it wasn't. So with that, I give it a 3. It wasn't totally a throwaway, but it's not a movie to go out your way to go check out. But if you come across it, nothing to do, and you see it on Netflix or Amazon or wherever you may go, and you can watch it through Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever, check it out. Hey, you may end up liking it.